Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasani Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayanila Prema Dhana Karuna Prachur Jayanila Prema Dhana Karuna Prachur Hena Prabhu Kotha Gela Acharya Thakur Hena Prabhu Kotha Gela Acharya Thakur Kaha Mora Sarup Kaha Sanatan Kaha Mora Sarup Kaha Sanatan Kaha Dasa Raghunatha Patita Pavan Kaha Dasa Raghunatha Patita Pavan Kaha Mora Bhatta Juga Kaha Kobira Kaha Mora Bhatta Juga Kaha Kobira Ekakale Kotha Gela Goranatara Ekakale Kotha Gela Goranatara Pasane Kutibo Mata Anale Pasibo Pasane Kutibo Mata Anale Pasibo Goranga Gunera Nidhi Kotha Gele Pabo Goranga Gunera Nidhi Kotha Gele Pabo Se Saba Sangira Sange Je Kaila Bila Se Saba Sangira Sange Je Kaila Bila Se Sangana Paya Kande Narutamada Se Sangana paya kande narottama das. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev Gaura Pramanande Hari Hari Bol Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajaka Charya Ashtatara Shatasi Sima Srila Bhai Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Das Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Adaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Samakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय, मायापुर नवती धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति चारु स्वामी महाराज की जय, श्रीमद् भक्ति चारु महाराज तिरुभाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की जय, श्रील सनातन गोसाई पास तिरुभाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की जय, गुरु पूर्णिमा की जय, समवेद वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sisi Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Somen Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Prabhus and mothers. Nice to see you all. Thank you for taking your valuable time to join this wonderful session. Today is very special in a sense. I was thinking, should we do Bhagavad Gita or we celebrate today's day? Today is a Guru Purnima.
Yes, Prabhu.
Very auspicious day. So maybe I'll speak few minutes why this Guru Purnima is very special to us.
Yes, Prabhu.
And today is also disappearance day of Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, one of our stalwart ISKCON leading guru. And he passed away on Guru Purnima in Florida, in Advent Hospital. I was there 2 years back. Also today is Sanatan Goswami Pa's disappearance day. First of all, question I ask always, cause and effect. Ask yourself, why do you need Guru for? Before we celebrate his birthday, first you have to ask, why do you need Guru? Well, so in order to answer that, are you happy? At whatever level of consciousness you are in, are you happy? Are you happy 24 hours a day? Or just 5 minutes every hour? Or half an hour every 6 hours? Or once in a while? Then if you are honest to yourself, then you'll say, okay, I'm not happy all the time, then I'm conditioned soul. Good. At least you, and if you are 24 hours a day, what are you doing in the material world? Unless Krishna send you to deliver us, that's different. Prabhupada came. Then it is difference. But if you are conditioned soul, you have 4 defects. Conditioned soul means 4 defects. We all should has to accept. The material world is but a small portion of Krishna's kingdom, a place for those who wish to become the center of enjoyment. Whether you remember or not, but that was the original cause why you are here. So then you ask yourself, what are you doing here? As Shastra depicts, the material world and its suffering is not really Krishna's desire. Just as government, I thought about it, in Florida, I'm in America almost 35 years. I never saw any government advertisement. Come to jail, come to prison. Nowhere. But prison is full. And you wonder why. No advertisement, but prison is full. Because government knows that there are some citizens who will break the law. And they need to be reformed, corrected. So government voluntarily, for the welfare of the citizens, so the rest of the culture, citizen can live peacefully and put the uncultured or uncivilized activity people behind the bar, so the rest of the citizen can have a peaceful life. You can use the same pattern. Why Krishna created the material world. You may say, well, though the government provides and organizes the prison service, the criminal is responsible for his or her situation. Similarly, though Krishna, God, created this world, the soul creates his own happiness or distress. The world is a place where fallen souls attempt to enjoy existence separately from Krishna. The ultimate purpose of the world is reformation of character and attitude. And by that, or by which, the soul can attain liberation or out of the prison. The soul suffers not so much through his location, but through his rebellious attitude. I don't mean to attack anybody, but I'm attacking on my own mental condition. Prabhupada says in 10th Canto, 14th chapter 8, we are recently doing the overview on 10th Canto, first 24 chapter I did. The purpose of the entire creation of God is to rectify the living entity's tendency to enjoy without the Lord. Therefore, the particular punishment given for sinful activities is specifically designed to curtail the mentality that produced the activity. I'm sure you heard me asking this before. What is the suffering in this world? Anybody would like to help me? What is the suffering that actually the soul suffer or conditioned soul suffer? Not why they are suffering. I did not say that. I'm asking what is the suffering? Then why is the suffering?
Separation from the Lord.
That's a Bible explanation, one place. Okay. Yes, thank you, Madarina. You are professor. I'm sure you know it. That's true.
You just said it.
I said it. Okay. But what is suffering is more precise nowadays. Madarina, you can write it down, rewrite it, if you heard me say.
What is suffering is not having your heart fulfilled.
Good. This is good. This is better, much better. Because one Christian minister actually told me, I remember a few years back, he said, separation from God. I said, that's true. But soul doesn't feel that. I'm separated. I felt like separation from God. How many soul? I asked him, how many soul? Let's go. You and me will interview 100 people today. See if even one person say, oh, I feel separation from God. That's why I'm suffering. And every time somebody say it, I'll give you $1. I even offered him like this. Let's see if we test 100 people, if how many people agree that they are separation. But that is true. We're not denying that. But what Mother Gaurangi Devi said, it's more appealing to the heart, isn't it? So what is suffering? I found you can add on your own from the scriptures, because Prabhupada did not say scripture doesn't mean we repeat exact word. Scriptures means we apply, and with our realized knowledge, we express, and then it will be effective more. Okay, Mother Puja, you have some idea?
Hare Krishna. So the suffering is that there's never eternal satisfaction. Even if we get some happiness, it's very temporary. So we're still longing for more. So that creates suffering. And then we're not able to live our dharma, which is to constantly serve the Lord, which creates suffering.
Very nice. Very nice. These are good thought. Very good thought. This is exactly aligned with what I was thinking also. And I can give you that exactly where I got this idea from few sloka. Yes, Mr. or Mrs. iPhone, because if you don't have a name, I don't know how to call you. You have a raised hand, but I have no idea who you are. Please reveal yourself.
My name is Tony.
Tony, you can put Tony. Then I know you are Tony. Thank you, Tony Prabhu. Yes. You would like to say something?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to answer your question, but if it was already answered, that's okay.
No, go ahead. Answer it. What is suffering?
Being attached to impermanence.
That's also true, but attachment is eternal. You cannot be without attachment. It will be artificial. I mean, you can try, but it will be artificial. Soul is endowed with attachment eternally. Soul is endowed with affection. Soul is endowed with absorption. Soul has a quality. Soul is a person. Person means personality, has many qualities. So your point is attachment in a wrong place, non-permanent. That's true. That's also very good. Well taken, Tony. I appreciate that. Okay. So everybody already contributed. This is very nice. What I say always, to get what I don't want, what actually I need, and not get what I really want and what I really need. This is the cause. This is the real suffering. That's not the cause of suffering. That's the real suffering. Then question comes, what is the cause of suffering? Okay, we identify the suffering. Now, what is the cause of this? Someone please help me.
Govinda Prabhu, can you repeat please the exact suffering? what is exact?
Mother Ina, are you having complete blissful life?
Almost.
Almost. Wow, that's nice. Almost is like a 1% or 99%. What is the definition of almost? Sometime or sometime not.
I feel internally happy, but I know that happiness because, you know, I have the knowledge and I'm trying to feel the connection with God. That's why I said separation with God is the cause of suffering. Maybe it's a cause of suffering, it's not suffering itself, but when I feel disconnected, then I feel that I'm suffering.
Now, this is very good. You already answered. The cause of the suffering is forgetfulness of the soul's relationship with God. Prabhupada said this, every Acharya said this. So you are right on that. You just worded in a different way. It's true. Very good. What is suffering and what is the cause of suffering? Now, third question is, what is the solution of that suffering?
Well, if the problem is that we turned away from God, then the solution is to turn towards God, to give him
Very
our
good.
attention.
Very good. Very good thought. See, if this kind of thought dwells in our consciousness, we will advance very quick. Was interesting, today I was listening a class of Bhakti Charu Maharaj because this is his disciplines day. And one devotee asked a question, why we have no assurance? Sometimes we feel like, I don't know if I am reaching the goal, am I going really? It's taking so long. Then Prabhupada Bhakti Charu Maharaj gave a very nice example. It was a very practical. I remember that when I was in India, decades back, 4 decades back, that you buy a ticket. I remember we bought a ticket from Calcutta to Delhi to go to Vrindavan. Now, after, 12 hours, 13 hours, you wonder, how soon? Gosh, it's like taking so long. We were impatient, I remember. We just wanted to be there quick. They said, no, another 10 hours. What? Then after 5 hours, we said, no, we should be there. Like, how much time? It's like we become impatient. But the idea is that as long we are in the train and the train is going, we will arrive. Impatience is not the answer. Patience should be the answer. That we have a confirmation, the train will reach. Whether I want it now or not, that's difference. That's I have to control myself. So with that discussion, what is the solution? Mother Gorange says, because our turning away from him was the problem, so turning back to him is the solution. Yes, revive the relationship with our true well-wisher friend Krishna is the solution. It's true. Very good. The fourth question is how, okay, idealistically, yes, it all sounds good. What do we have to do to turn towards him or revive that relationship? That's the fourth question. Yes, Mother Puja.
What do we have to do to revive the relationship is know about God, know our position in relationship with the Lord, and then nurture this relationship through loving devotional service.
Very good. In a short answer, you are saying that we should practice and be conscious that we are reviving the relationship. And in the journey, there will be negative, positive experience. And that also we'll discuss today, that why we need Guru. We are going to celebrate Guru Purnima, but why we need Guru? That was the question. Also, from Bhagavad Gita, I found 4 types of tolerance to obtain the ultimate goal is required. Maybe no problem with you all, but I had a problem. Maybe I still have. I'm not aware of it. 4th kind of tolerance is required in order to progress. In the beginning, Lord Krishna actually told Arjuna, Matras parshastu kunteyo shitosnu sukha dukkada. Agama pai no nittam tang titikshasya bharata. Arjuna, you have to tolerate. Before even he explained what the process is, he said, you must tolerate first. Tolerate for what? Even to listen. So 4 tolerance. One is Bhega Sohishnu. Bhega Sohishnu means we have our choice to pull back the mind when mind tries to take us away from listening or practicing. The urges, temptation, whatever it is, we have to. Krishna is not going to do for us. I hope you understand that. Guru is not going to do for us. It is individually, each of us has to pull back our mind. Say, I don't need the sense gratification right now while I'm chanting. I don't need to see who is calling. Did somebody call? Let me look at the iPhone. Did somebody send the email? It's not required. This is a time with the Lord, very sacred moment, in a sacred atmosphere, very peacefully I'm chanting. Just focus. So RJs will be there. You must learn. Tolerate means you pull back the mind. No, you're not going anywhere. You're going to listen this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that's the first tolerance. Second tolerance is called Danda Sahishnu. Danda Sahishnu means many things may happen, may be going through, you may not control. You may not like somebody's behavior, just tolerate. You don't need to correct them. You don't need to tell them right now. Just tolerate. Really, it's a practice is required. Third is Paramata Sahishnu. What is Paramata Sahishnu? I have to tell this devotee. That devotee is like this. Why that devotee is doing this? Why that, or whatever it is. Like you feel like are just to impose your idea on that other person. Or that person was wrong. I need to call them fast, maybe before I chant. No, you don't. You don't need to. While you're doing the sadhana, just do it. Tolerate. While doing sadhana, this is so important because I do this, but it took many years. But you don't have to wait, dummy person like me. You can do it right away. Sometimes we learn by beating, getting tortured, then we learn. I don't think everybody should do that. You can do it with your intelligence. And the fourth types of tolerance is we have to accept a ground rules that does not matter how much successful, how much first-class understanding I have. There may be someone who has a better understanding, better realization. You don't need to compete. I don't need to compete. This is difficult. So how do you get out of that? You can get out of it by glorifying that person. It's not easy, but it is possible. Okay. So now we understand why we need Guru. Because we do suffering. And a wonderful brahmachari, he gave a very nice explanation. He says, Prabhu, this birth, death, old age, disease is not appealing to a lot of people. They don't see like, I know there is a birth, there is an old age, but I'm young, I'm not old. And death, I don't know, I'm not worried about it right now. So how do you explain him that life is full of suffering? So you retranslate in your own language something they can relate. How do you say? Say, hey, there is a 7 stages of life. Now, someone of you can tell me whether you feel actually that is very effective. That's why I was very surprised. Actually, people can relate. Said you do spills, drills, thrills, bills, ills, pills, wills. I was like, wow, sounds good. Because when you are a little boy, little girl, or whatever, you're always spilling here, there, here. And then you grow up little bigger, you have a drill. Then you get teenager, you have a thrill, seeing the other boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, you're exploring your life thrills. And you get married, you start getting the bills, then you feel pressure of the bills. I don't want to pay all this bill, mortgage, or whatever. And then you grow little, grown up, Then you get ills. Then what? You take pills. Then when you are old, you write the wills. What's going to happen when you die? So then they say, yeah, that sounds like true. And they feel really, they can relate. So we don't want it, but it is like unavoidable. I say it's the same thing as birth, death, old age, and disease, Krishna says. It's not different. Four things covering these 7 things, but they can relate sometimes. Okay, so we discussed and we agreed that we are not completely happy. We are not Nitya Siddha like eternal associate. We are conditional. Now, why do we need Guru then? Then the question comes that Krishna says, okay, if you accepted that you are suffering, you want to get out, then Bhagavatam 11.14.16, beautiful verse. Explain, Krishna says, Nirapeksham munim shantam bimatsara samadarsanam anubrajami aham nittam pujet angri renubi. Krishna says, with the dust of my devotees' lotus feet, I desire to purify the material worlds and all the conditioned soul that is situated within this material world, which also exists in Krishna's body. And Krishna says, I always follow the footsteps of my pure devotee who are free from personal desire, wrapped in thought of my pastimes, peaceful, without any feeling of enmity and equal disposition everywhere. So come to this point of acceptance that Krishna is not going to deliver you by himself. He's going to deliver, he chooses to deliver you through a devotee. Everybody understood that point? It's very clear. This is Krishna himself spoke. He did not say he'll deliver you directly. You know, he'll come to your bedroom and say, okay, it's time to go home. Let's go. No, he's going to deliver through a devotee, his devotee. Why? Because Krishna does not want to have a babysitting job. You know, babysitter? Like a baby, spilling, cleaning diaper, all these things. Krishna doesn't want to do that. Krishna wants guru or devotee to train the conditioned soul. It's called babysitter. It's a nickname for guru or sadhus. Now, what do they do? If you really think, what do they do? Well, you have 5 kinds of ignorance. If you are familiar or not familiar, just get to it. 5 kinds of ignorance. What are the 5 kinds of ignorance? Ignorance of your own spiritual identity. You may hear it, but you still think, I don't know who I am spiritually. There is a genuine ignorance. This is the first ignorance developed when we took the false ego. 5 ignorance. This you can read in 3rd Canto, 20 chapter, text 18. Very nicely Prabhupada explains how Brahmaji, first birth of Brahmaji. Are you familiar? I'm sure some of you familiar. The first birth or first creation of Brahmaji is what? 5 layers of ignorance. It's very sad. Brahmaji was very sad seeing that 5 layers of ignorance is the first children born. and every children comes after this, means all the conditioned soul will be covered by this 5 layers of ignorance. Congratulations. For what? You got a 5 layers of ignorance. But that's not a congratulation. That sounds like a very horrible, what they call prisoner outfit or jail. I'm not sure. There is a word or something. You know, when you are in a prison, you have a particular uniform that you can detect, oh, these are the people who lives in the jail or they are criminals. They have some kind of uniform, I'm sure. I mean, I don't remember. I did go to jail, not for criminal, but to teach Bhagavad Gita. But I don't remember, but they do have a uniform, all the criminal. So similar, you have a 5 layers of ignorance. Why this 5 layers of ignorance? This 5 layers of ignorance caused 4 types of misconception. What is it? Anatma, Atma. You think you are this body. It's like after giving 2 hours classes, and this Gujarati Mataji, I'll never forget. I mentioned this before. She said, "We got it, Prabhu." I said, "God what?" He said, "I am a spirit soul, but I'm a special spirit soul. I'm a Gujarati spirit soul." I was thinking like, wow, this is so profound. Like, it's very difficult, believe me, to think that I am a spirit soul, not this body. Very difficult. We are accepting, but not acting always. We act like just like today somebody told me, I feel hot. I say, soul doesn't feel hot, but you think you are the body. Every time we have to think of the philosophy. Yes, we do. Then you will know the spiritual body doesn't have a hot or cold. They are always perfect. They don't need any heat or cold temperature adjustment. But when you think you are the body or the mind, there's a need and supply created by Krishna. So this is first thing, anatma, atma. Second is the material sense gratification. Literally, they think it is the permanent. Even one Gurukuli told me, if Krishna gave us sense gratification perfect for eternal, I don't feel like need to go to spiritual work. I say, you are in illusion, really illusion. You think just this sex desire or whatever, television or some kind of fancy enjoyment you think. This is like, if you multiply 100 trillion time, then you'll know what the happiness in soul level in service to Krishna. So difficult, but if you are already happy with the material enjoyment, then there is a difficult for you to get rectification. Now, some of you may say, how come some people feel they are not suffering? They are not feeling suffering because like you have a chronic pain and you may take the painkiller. That doesn't mean your pain is gone, but your perception to or experience, the pain is blocked. That doesn't mean you are cured. Painkiller doesn't mean you are cured now, healthy. No, you are still in the disease condition, but you're taking the painkiller or sense gratification as an alternate. Now what will happen? You will keep on getting the painkiller. You have to keep on taking birth, death, old age, disease, and keep on going. If you are satisfied with that, Krishna will not force you to become devotee. Devotee may force you. Devotee may say, hey, you are in ignorance, man. You think painkiller is good enough. No. Okay, so that's a one kind of. Another kind of also ignorance is like from the attitude of people's attitude, there are 3 types of ignorance. I personally see that, that's why I'm explaining this. One is called skeptical ignorance. Skeptical is like they are scientific minded. You know, they see, say, Vedic cosmology and Vedic mythology, whatever. That's what they have ignorance, but they don't want to accept that they are in ignorance. And they think, actually, I am intelligent. I don't want to accept the Vedic knowledge. They are mythology. So it's very interesting. They are in a skeptical ignorance, but they will not accept that they are in ignorance. So how they are going to get out? It's impossible. Then there are another types of people I notice. They are called pious ignorance. You know, pious ignorance is like they follow Bible or Quran or Bhagavad Gita, whatever the religion, rituals they have. And they respect. They may not understand or believe those Vedic, but they are kind of like, I believe in Bhagavad Gita. Or do you follow? Do you practically practice? No, but I respect what you do. This is you may say, what's wrong with that? There is a wrong, because there's no impetus to get better. So it's a pious ignorance, I call. They're pious people, nice people, but ignorance. Please, mothers and Prabhu, don't tell them that. This is just for us to understand. That so many people are, they appreciate Hare Krishna philosophy, but they never practice. They don't want to practice. They just hang around. They'll come take prasadam and they will see us going by or something. They'll like that. They will eventually come, but they are also ignorance, we have to understand. But do they think? No, they don't think that. They think we are fine. We develop a respect. We respect the Christian, Muslim, Jehovah, Mormon, Hare Krishna, whoever it is, we respect everybody. It's like one scientist house we went in San Diego. He has everybody's picture in the altar. And I said, you are a scientist, Dr. Duburi, you're a scientist. How come you are not doing some analysis? Why so many God? Is there one God or many God? You keep everybody's photo. I remember, I'll never forget that. He says, in case one is right, one is wrong, so I just make sure that everybody is there so that I don't. I said, that doesn't sound like a good, intelligent choice. So I call them reverential respect, kind of, but they are reverential ignorance. They are, I mean, nice people, but maybe none of you ever saw that. Somebody's house has all this deity picture. Somen Prabhu, you are a scientist. Did you ever see somebody's house has all? In India, I saw.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah. They don't research, but they just want to make sure, and they're respectful, but they're ignorance. Okay. So that's why we need Guru to get out of this ignorance. Now, what we learn from Guru, today is a Guru Purnima. Guru Purnima means we glorify what we learn. So I'm going to give some, and you all can share also your understanding. I remember with Bhakti Charu Maharaj, we had a long discussion one time, and it was very nice. We learned a lot of things. A good example, like say, we get a seed that tastes extremely bitter. Then you are about to throw it away, but then somebody said, wait, why are you throwing this? I said, why? He said, this is, this yield grapefruit. This is the seed of grapefruit. It will grow in a few years and you will have a grapefruit. So, really? You will have a early morning if you eat grapefruit. Ayurveda says that you will have clear stomach. All this pollution night piled up will be cleared up if you have an orange or some kind of grapefruit or orange, something like that. And it's very healthy for you. Okay, good. So with Bhakti Charan Maharaj, I learned this, that our pain, whatever pain we have, is meant to be harvested, not wasted. This is a very important, and I'm going to summarize, and I also add my own realization on that. When we go through pain, we often resent it. When it ends, we feel like we never want to revisit the chapter of our life. Oh my gosh, what a nightmare I had with this relative or person or friend. You feel like I don't ever want to think about it or ever experience this. Prabhus and mothers, believe me, I don't do that anymore. After I learning from 6th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, 32 verse, you look at it in a different way, what Krishna says. Pain is like a seed that can be harvested to yield empathy. Suppose we are born in a poverty, but later we become affluent. I mean, I see many, even devotees, they come from India and they become rich. We can either resent our past or we can use it to empathize with the needy and devise ways to help them effectively in the present. And this is a very nice lesson from Bhagavad Gita. And such empathy can be spiritualized. Saintly people like Prabhupada or Bhakti Charumarga, I saw. Saintly seers, they understand, based on our own experience, that spiritual disconnection causes the greatest distress. We discussed that today. Spiritual connection provides the greatest happiness. They harvest whatever past distress they may have undergone or we may have undergone when we are spiritually disconnected to empathically help others become spiritually connected. This is required. So following the lead of such seer, we too we can harvest our pain. Otherwise, we may contrast our present joyful spiritual life with our past distressful unspiritual life and dismiss our past as a painful waste of time. Is it? Instead, if we use our past to understand the problem faced by people from our background, culture, education, outlook, community, nationality, then we can customize our spiritual outreach for their needs. So when we thus use spiritually all that we have, not just the good, but also the bad, we attract divine grace, which further strengthens our spiritual connection. There is a healthy fear. When you have fear, healthy fear, oh, I'm not chanting, this is not good. Some impression of this world will come and will keep me here. I don't want to do that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. These are good. We can re-harvest our pain or whatever distress condition. So what's the conclusion? Conclusion is, by learning to see our past as a potential spiritual resource, we can harvest our pain or distress to increase our empathy and spirituality. Of course, this is just one example. You can learn. We celebrate Prabhupada's Guru Puja every day. And I also ask, what did I learn today from Prabhupada? That I'm doing Guru Puja, I feel loyal. But what did I learn? What am I taking away in my heart? It is necessary to reflect every day. Then one day we will be loaded of spiritual wealth, all these things we are carrying. Other day, something happened, I won't go to the whole history, but something I learned myself. If Krishna takes away things that can take us away from Krishna, don't go away from him. This is very important. And when we don't see Krishna is our greatest need, then all this temptation or other things can fill up. There are many things. When we come to Krishna consciousness or Guru, Sadhu Shastra. We do take the journey from ignorance to knowledge. And it begins. 644, which we did few months back. If you remember, I remember that sloka was very interesting. Purva abhashena means previous practice. Tanaiva riyate hi avasho pisha jignashur api yogasya shabda brahmani tati vartate. Very scientifically Krishna explained that verse, that suppose someone wants to mine gold, they need to know quite few things about gold. I mentioned that before. What gold looks like, why it is worth mining, what to mine for it. Otherwise, they won't search at all and will mistake something else to be gold. In America, they say everything glitters is not gold. I'm sure some of you heard it before. So we apply, what applies to physical things such as gold applies even more to subtler things such as knowledge. Suppose someone wants to learn how to treat blindness. They need to know who can treat it, isn't? Who can teach them how to treat it. More fundamentally, that treating blindness is even possible or not. So if knowledge starts from, not from zero, but from a greater than zero beginning, what brings anyone to that greater than zero starting point? That question should be asked. Society in general, or even social events in particular, when a gold rush mania grips a community, because I studied about this California gold rush in my gemology degree. I'm a graduate gemologist. So I remember we studied about it, gold rush in California. When social causes cannot explain adequately, when someone exhibits a strong spiritual urge, despite being in a largely non-spiritual social setting, what happened? Beyond social causes lies historical cause. That's why Krishna gave a very nice example. He states that people who have been spiritual seekers in their previous life gravitate spontaneously towards non-material exploration in this life. And that's the truth. If you reflect your life, you will come to this agreement. What if someone has not previously embarked on a spiritual search? What happened? Well, beyond historical cause lies an essential cause. We all have a spiritual essence made of consciousness and rich with cognitive potential. It is due to this core that we seek to know various things, including ultimately to know ourselves and the whole to which we belong, Krishna. Though that core is usually triggered by some social or historical cause, it is that core which makes any quest for any knowledge possible. So what's the conclusion? Knowledge starts from a non-zero beginning. We find ourselves at that point, not just because of some social or historical cause, but primarily because we all have spiritual core rich with cognitive potential. In Sanskrit is called Sambit potency in Chaitanya Charitamrita, explained very nicely. And we discussed many times, other day also, I see Praladanda Prabhu is also here, about 1858. Krishna does not promise a stormless sea, but he provides an unsinkable ship. This is we learn from Prabhupada. Many examples he gave. And if you have a spiritual weakness, that's why you need guru. Learn how to overcome the spiritual weakness. When something hurts us, don't let the mind increase the hurt. Anybody practically, I'm sure you all going through or went through, even you become serious devotee, still you can detect when something happens, like other day, I was coming to the house. So there is a little snake, just a tiny snake. Now, every time I open the door or I come to the house, I think outside, because we have a lot of like a garden type of like, so little snake may be there. But snake is not there. But who reminds it? Mind. And then mind will tell you like what the danger of the snake. It magnifies the fear as if really it is so important. And then after I passed by the road, I'm thinking like there was no snake. What is it? Was it necessary for 5 minutes to think all this fear of the snake? No, but mind will do that. This is the nature of the mind to always distract us. So what I learned from Prabhupada's purport, very interestingly, that your intelligence has to run faster than the mind distract you or disturb you. This can be practiced. So, I give an example like in the freeway, if everything is 60 miles an hour and somebody is going 80 miles an hour, he's already 20 miles over. Now, if police want to catch him, he has to go over 80 miles, maybe 100 miles an hour, just to catch this criminal. Don't put a logic or reason. Why police is going so high? It is illegal. No, don't put. You see the purpose. So our intelligence has to run faster than mind can distract us or disturb us. This, if we start practicing, I started this like a little while back, like a couple years back, and now I see that my intelligence like really like it comes right in front of the mind. You say, okay, snake may be there. No, Krishna has to sanction the snake to bite, otherwise not possible. And I feel happy. I say, good. I see the intelligence and mind two sides of me, and intelligence says, mind, snake, even if snake is there on your path, snake cannot harm unless Krishna sanction. God is all good. Do you accept that? If God is all good, he will sanction for good. So why fear? Okay, the fear disappears. So this is the thing we learn. So you can pile up your own realization. I just realized the time is almost ticked out, like almost gone. I didn't even talk about Guru Purnima, but I'll just give you a synopsis. I'm sorry, I was just talking about why we need Guru so much. Vyasa Puja, in a short, 3,111 plus 2022 plus 125. Krishna lived for 125. If you add all this, and in the beginning of as just before Krishna appeared, this Vyasdev appeared. So it's about close to 5,500 plus years back where Vyasdev appeared. And Vyasdev appeared is the Vyasa Purnima, which became Guru Purnima. That's the origin. Now, they didn't have a calendar like we do. Vedic calendar is much more sophisticated than Gregorian Western calendar, because Gregorian Western calendar, you have if you really go by the solar or lunar, then you get some confusion with that. Because everything is like 31 days or 30 days or 28 days, February, like that. But Vedic calendar is so perfect. It's like 30 days every month. So if you are born on a 5th Jyeshta or Vaishakh, then it always stays 5th. But if you compare or convert to American or Gregorian calendar, it always changes. That's why you see Prabhupada explained this in one letter very nicely. So this is where Vyasdev's appearance day is called Vyasa Purnima. Now, you can read this. This is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After Vyasdev appeared, then Krishna departed. Then Buddhism came over. They rejected the Vedas. Vyasa Purnima is disappeared. Guru Purnima was not there from this planet. Literally disappeared. It is 500 years back. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu re-established. There's a beautiful whole chapter is given on these pastimes, how Nityananda Prabhu established Krishna Mande Jagat Guru in Srivas Thakur's house. And Vyasa Purnima became very popular now in America, in India. Of course, some of the other sampradaya, they were holding it also, but not well known to the citizen, but they are holding for thousands of years. They figured it out. But in Mahaprabhu's line or in Bengal, our tradition, Mahaprabhu established this, that you must worship your guru. And how you worship, of course, there's a ritual, 7 steps, and the whole explanation is given. It takes itself 1 hour. But even that, we don't follow that standard, do we? No, we don't. What standard we follow in ISKCON right now, it is not established by Mahaprabhu. It is established by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I'm just giving you a brief history, where Guru Purnima is not the day that we celebrate or observe every Guru's Vyasa Puja on this day. We don't. You don't see it. Bhaktichar Maharaj happened to disappear today, so we celebrate his glory because he passed away on this day. But Guru Purnima, before 1924, it was the Guru Purnima that every Guru in our Guru Parampara, their Vyasa Puja was celebrated. 1924, on the 50th birthday of Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, changed the whole thing. And he gave a wonderful explanation. He said, why? He said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in this world. Where was I? I was somewhere in some creature's body, maybe in stool pit, I think sometime I was maybe there. So nobody could reach me. Narottam Das Thakur was here, 6 Goswamis were here, all these great personality, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Narottam Das, Baladev Vidyabhushan Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, all these great personality came. Did they deliver me? No. But they're great personality, but I was not qualified to be reached by them. So the person who actually connected me to Krishna or connecting me to Krishna and uplifting me towards proceeding towards Krishna is more important in my life than all other great personalities. Therefore, we celebrate their birthday or their birthday as a Vyasa Puja or Guru Puja. Everybody understood why individual guru's birthday we celebrate as a Beso Puja? Because of that. It was a wonderful explanation. Anyway, his disciples were challenging him in that lecture that your guru has ordered you 3 things and it seems like you disobey all 3. How to understand that you are a perfect follower of your guru? So I'll end with this. It's a beautiful answer he gave. It's so wonderful. Krishna, Krishna. First question was asked, I believe, I'm going to paraphrase, I don't remember exact. Said, your guru Gaur Kishore Das Babaji told you not to go to Calcutta, but your first temple you opened in Calcutta. So he answered, I went wherever fallen soul needed the blessing of my Guru Maharaj's lotus feet. But you happen to see it at Calcutta, not I didn't see it. Such a profound, thoughtful answer. It's like, wow. So the mercy is not a location of, I would say, not a physical location. It is a conscious revelation. Wherever the soul needed, supplied are there. And you may happen to see physically it's Calcutta. But to me, it was the mercy of my Guru Maharaj's lotus feet. Needed them the most, so I went and gave it to them. Second question they asked. Don't associate with the Bishois, sense gratifier. But we see you always preaching all this sense gratifier. Whole day night you are just so busy talking to them. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, I never associate with any sense gratifier. I do kirtan, glorify Lord to the innocent to bring to Krishna consciousness in their life. You may happen to see them as a sense gratifier. The third question was asked, don't make disciple. But we are all your disciples, thousands and thousands. Actually, it's true. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur had thousands of disciples. And Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur replied, my Gurudev has sent all of you to assist and help me. Give me good association so I can fulfill the desire he wants me to preach and deliver this conditioned soul. You happen to see yourself as my disciple, but I consider you all a representative of my Guru, which Prabhupada also said, our Prabhupada also said. So with that note, I'll end here. Any takeaway or any further?
Prabhu, yes, I have.
Happy Guru Purnima ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, I have 2 burning things right now. One is the first of the 3 answers that you just gave, right? I didn't understand, about seeing the fallen souls in Calcutta or something like that. What was that? Can you just repeat that?
1924, the disciple asked, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur changed his tradition that we had a Guru Purnima day. We used to do Beso Puja of our Guru. But Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur changed it.
Oh, no, not that one. Maybe it was the second one?
No, I'm saying he changed it. In that discussion, end of the class, the disciple asked the question to verify whether, because this is, if you want to change Christmas, say from next year, from this year, no more Christmas. This December, no more Christmas. All over America. How challenging will it be, you think? It's a big challenge, is it?
Yeah.
To change the tradition of Guru Puja, Beso Puja. It's a big challenge. in that atmosphere in India that time. He says you can do Guru Puja, Besu Puja on the birthday of Guru instead of Guru Purnima. Oh, they started talking. Every sannyasi, everybody started talking. Wow, how is that? Which Shastra is backing? But he's very powerful lion Guru. So end of the class, this question was discussed. 3 questions. That one question was, what question you had again, please?
Yeah. So it was 3 questions, right? You
Yes.
gave the answer to, and I didn't understand the first question answered, the first one.
First question is that Gaur-Kishodar Babaji, your guru, advised you, instructed you not to go to Calcutta.
Yeah.
But your first temple you opened in Calcutta, Ultadanga.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, just to let you all know, Ultadanga place was the first meeting place of Prabhupada also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a very famous place.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, you can see how the time can, and if they don't have a good standard, like Prabhupada made a very good standard in ISKCON, because the standard was slackening with the authority, and there was no GBC or somebody to check the sannyasis, behavior and his following standard. As a result, is degraded to a point where Grihastha relative and somebody came and they took over the temple and they started opening a shop, selling anything and everything. The temple is almost lost. It turned into like a, what would you say? Not a preaching center. Because temple means 5 things. It was not there. Only one thing was there. Fortunately, Radhanath Maharaj, through his disciple, they got the temple after 2 years of negotiation. They paid people to get out and they took over the temple. Now it's a vibrant Krishna conscious temple, ISKCON temple now. So it's a very nice place. If you ever go to Calcutta, visit that place. You'll come to know. You go to Calcutta. It's a vibrant ISKCON temple. So they asked the question that first temple you built is that temple, Uttadanga. So, but you know the answer, right? Mother
No,
Purana?
yeah. Why after Guru told him don't build temple in Calcutta, yet he went and built temple there.
He said, wherever the fallen soul needed my Guru Maharaj's blessings the most, I always go run and help those people to receive the blessing of my Guru Maharaj's lotus feet. That's all I did, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says. But you happen to see that location is Calcutta. But to me, I never saw Calcutta. And I don't go open temple in Calcutta.
Oh,
It's a very advanced stage of thought.
okay. So he's saying that although his guru told him don't open temple in Calcutta, he wasn't seeing it in terms of geographical name. He was seeing it in terms of the need.
Very good. You got it, mother. Yes. Such a high elevated vision he had.
Mm-hmm. But Prabhu, my other burning thing was that when you were talking about the snake, right? And you said, well, there's no need to fear because Krishna is in the heart of that snake. But it seemed to me that, like some presumption is there. For example, we're taught, everybody is soul, but that doesn't mean you go hug a lion, right? So why should you not take precaution if you see snake for, along those same lines?
My point was, if you see one time snake, does it mean that every time you have to be paranoid to pass through that road?
Yeah, but you said also that, but Krishna is in the heart of that snake.
No,
so
that's the outcome, how I countered. And I do this. Every time I wake up and I try to go to temple before 3:30, just to be there before anybody, just to make sure everything is okay. So, because one time I saw a snake, every time I open the door to go to the car, it's a little dark spot, immediately mind triggers. There could be snake. And there is some fear, some assumption, as if snake is there.
Mhm.
Yes, we should be cautious, but we don't have to be afraid. Why? Because even if you sleep next to cobra on your bed, you will not be dead unless Krishna sanctions. It is not possible a snake to kill someone without the sanction of God. And when God sanctions, there is a reason for it. And if we have that fear of that snake, we should not call ourselves as a devotee. We should be cautious, yes, but we don't need to be afraid, maintaining that fear all the time.
Okay. I mean, to say, it was just sounding as though, you know, if we even meet some dangerous animal, we shouldn't, you know, take precautions because Krishna is in the heart of that animal. But that's not true. We should be cautious, even though the.
No, you should be cautious and paranoid are two different things.
Yeah.
We should be cautious.
And take precautions also, right?
Precaution means you chant Hare Krishna and see with the flashlight, or just cautiously you go if you cannot see, if it's dark. But that doesn't mean you have to be like paranoid, like, oh, now what I should do? Oh, I'm so scared, I don't have a stick. You don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
Maya will cause us fear through the mind, but we don't have to, we have also access to Krishna. Krishna controls Maya. We don't control Maya. We don't need to try to control Maya. Our intelligence can actually control the mind. We don't have to fall for mind's attack all the time. It's the nature of the mind. And mind two-way make everybody nervous. Whatever is happening, mind will magnify. Even though it's little, maybe snake is not, there's another living being. I'm not saying now by mistake, if I step, maybe snake will just try to harm. But snake is not there just to kill us. That's not the business of the snake. They have to live also their life. They're just like another being.
If I'm going through a dangerous neighborhood, for example, right? Or even, let's say, a forest where there's wild animals, right? Then what should be my mentality?
Do you know how many sages lives still today? They live in the forest and meditate on Krishna, despite there is so many dangerous animals.
Okay, so you're saying that therefore I should feel peaceful because I will not get killed unless Krishna wants me to get killed by one of those.
Correct. Proportion to your, if you look at 1861, the verse says, Krishna directs the soul from wherever they are to wherever they are going, everywhere. 1323, Krishna says, I am the one who sanctions, I am the one who permits. We have to have a strong, if we are depending on Krishna, we don't have to be spaced out or how do you say, cautionless. We are cautious. We don't have to be nervous for no reason. But triggers of the mind is that mind will like to make you nervous and laughs about it after. It's the business of the mind, always to divert us from our spiritual path. It's not a question of whether mind will or not. Mind will. Question is when. That's the only thing. So don't depend that mind will not cheat. Mind will cheat. Prabhupada said that. Mind will cheat. And I see that. Mind will cheat. But if we are keeping our intelligence head of mind, then possible you can overcome mind.
Mm.
Overcome mind doesn't mean like mind is not there, but mind is subdued.
Mm.
Then it's friend. Because without mind, we cannot go back home. Without purifying the mind, we cannot go back home, back to God. And purification means directing the mind through the intelligence to think of Krishna. That's why all these songs are written by Acharya. Bhaja Hure Man Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Bindare. The whole book Manosiksha, written by Raghunath Das Goswami, how to control the mind. Why? Because of that. And I had the problem, mother. I had a problem. For no reason, I would be like cautious, paranoid little bit of the snake. Because I had a lot of snake story in my life. I won't tell you. I used to swim next to the snake in Mangalarti in Mayapur during the flood. So many things happened. In Prabhupada's room, I used to clean. In early 80s, in the closet, all the bed sheet. And I put my hand, one Mataji taught me, you put your hand, I was a teenager, and then you go like this, then all the bed sheet, blanket, everything is like nicely kept. I put my hand, I am familiar with the snake feeling, touching. But it took 3 hours from the zoo in Calcutta, the people come and they found 3 cobra, baby cobra. Means the parents are there too. They could not find. In Calcutta, it's impossible to see a snake in Calcutta. It's such a density. But there was a snake in Prabhupada's room. It could be my karma bring this snake. I mean, I saw snake in San Diego on the alley. San Diego, there is no snake on the road. I mean, there is no jungle in San Diego, literally. It's a desert. But I saw in the temple backside. But then we found out it's a pet. Pet just escaped from them. But why am I seeing this? Because I had something. Maybe I had an envious heart. Maybe still it is there, trying to purify. So I learned a lot of lessons from it. That fear is gone, no more that fear. And I see how it is went by the mercy of Krishna and following the Bhagavad Gita teachings. How do you engage the intelligent? Okay, thank you for this. Is wonderful.
No, thank you. That was really wonderful explanations. Thank you.
Any takeaway? No. Okay. We can close here now. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpataru vesya kripa sindhu vacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Prahlad Prabhu ki jai. Gaur Premanande.